impact. This is important because this is going to control how you read, how you write, how you read, how you find cards, how you do papers. This is everything. This is number one, the structure of an argument. We learned this the first day of debate, and we use this for the rest of our lives. It is the fundamental building block of communication. The argument, the structure of a deductive argument, a claim, a warrant, an impact. Sample claim. Okay, so where did Malachi? Okay, good. I was like, forgive me, right? Because I don't know how many people are sports fans, and I'm a disgruntled Knicks fan. So do this, right? Like I can't really say I'm a Knicks fan because well, you can see there, but I used to root for the Knicks, but now I'm always sad because they always suck. All right. The New York Knicks are the worst team in the NBA because their organization doesn't have any dignity. That is a claim. A claim is a statement that must be proven. No, putting because in the claim can help that claim be more specific. If I had written the New York Knicks are the worst team in the NBA, that would also have been a claim. It just would not have been well written. A claim is a statement that must be proven. So if I say that Science High School is the best school in the city, that's a claim. It has to be proven. If I say the Dallas Cowboys are the best team, the best football team in the NFL, that would be a lie, but it would also be, I'm not a Dallas. But it would, you're not a Dallas fan either? Good for you. All right. Hating Dallas, that's great. All right, so that's a claim. It's a statement that has to be proven. Because after you have a claim, the natural question that should come to your mind is what? After you have a claim, the natural question that should come to your head is what? Well, yes, that's what you think after that, but why? Yes, you think why? Yes, like why? Why is this true? Right, or why is that statement true? Why is that, like, the New York Knicks are the worst team in the NBA because their organization doesn't have any dignity? How do you know that? How's that true, right? So, whenever you have a claim, the claim really does force you to think about the warrant. That is true. A warrant is the evidence or reason why a claim is true. A warrant is the evidence or reason why a claim is true. A warrant is the evidence or reason why a claim is true. A warrant is the evidence or reason why a claim is true. Child over here, what is a warrant? What is a claim?
A claim is a statement that has to be proven.
What is a warrant?
Evidence or reason as to why a claim is true.
Right, evidence or reasons why a claim is true. The New York Knicks are a wealthy team that doesn't try to improve. Last summer they had a chance to hire NBA All-Star Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. This was a little dated, and I'm still bitter. I don't care what happened. I'm still bitter about this. They even had Durant in the Knicks' actual office ready to sign. The owner insulted him by refusing to give the maximum pay and send him out the door. Durant and Irving drove to Brooklyn and signed with the Nets. Didn't work out well for the Nets, but still. The people the Knicks eventually did sign were not notable. They weren't. And there are no exceptions, and there are no expectations of this team winning in the near or distant future. They still haven't won a series. They made the deliberate, undignified decision of kicking superstars out of their front office to sign a few mediocre players later. Yeah, of course, right? But here's the thing, right? All arguments are biased. Right? Yes, all arguments, it is an argument, right? Because it has to be proven. So all arguments, people are like, oh, it's opinion. All arguments, right, are a type of, you're giving, even if you base it on fact, an argument is usually contestable. That is, it is your perception, your real opinion about those facts. Because we can agree on the facts, but then we fight about what those facts mean, right? And then there is the next one, which is
Would the warrant also be proving why your claim is true?
that is, it's the evidence or reason why your claim is true, right? A warrant is evidence, reasons why the claim is true. And then the impact of the argument is why the argument matters. The impact of the argument is why the argument matters. Competitive sports is dependent on everyone on the team having pride in their name derived from a commitment to the excellence and winning. The Knicks' disconnection from excellence and their lack of dignity threatens the very reason we have sports. Sports were created to inspire greatness, and New York Knicks have made that statement to society that mediocrity is acceptable as long as you are well paid. This demoralizing statement undermines the very thing that makes innovation and creativity possible. Dignity, right? So the impact is why the argument matters. They know my hatred of the Knicks. An argument has got to have them all. An argument has got to have a claim, it's going to have a warrant, and it's going to have an impact. So, question, Amani, if you're going to attack an argument, what part of an argument would you attack?
The claim.
Why?
Because
Okay, just finish the because, right? Was it just
I
Laura?
have the claim because that's what the whole argument is based on.
It's what the argument is based on, right? But however, right? What does the claim do? What is the definition of a claim? No, you didn't read it. Just what we did. There are three parts of an argument: claim, warrant, impact. What's a claim? So it's a statement. It's a statement that must be proven, right? So, Amani, given that a claim is a statement that must be proven, would you attack it?
Yes.
Why?
So I can disprove it further than I have.
Okay, so let's put that on hold because you're gonna disprove the claim. If I'm gonna disprove the claim, what am I disproving? Are you gonna say the argument is false? The argument is false?
Well, whatever evidence that they provide, that's what happens.
So you're gonna try to attack the evidence?
Yeah.
So if you're gonna attack the evidence, what part would you attack?
I would assume that the evidence is making a claim.
All right, so. Ooh, good point. Probably in the trophy. Dry race markers are usually trophy. Yeah, someone. So hold that, right? Because what you said, and you should write down or think about what you said. You said you would attack the evidence, right? Right? All right, so what is your name?
Danielle.
Danielle. If you attack the evidence of an argument, what part of the argument are you attacking?
The warrant.
Why? How do you know you're attacking the warrant?
Because the warrant is the evidence or reason as to why the claim is true.
The warrant is the evidence or reasons why the claim is true, right? So what part of the argument, if you're gonna attack the evidence, what part of the argument are you attacking?
The warrant.
The warrant, right? All right. Now, by the way, your response is always a very common response, right? However, you will be able to win a lot more arguments with what you're learning right now, right? And we're going to see in just a second, right? Because if you attack the warrant, then what happens? If you attack the warrant, then what does that mean you're doing? Yes, you are undermining the evidence to prove the claim is true. But so what happens to the claim?
It's false. It becomes false.
If
And it makes no sense to argue
the
something.
claim goes away, right? So the statement, right, has to have what to back it up? Evidence or reasons why it's true. It has to have a warrant, yes? A claim without a warrant, what is that? Yes? Even worse. A claim without a warrant, even worse.
We're just saying what the problem is for you.
That's different, right? As a claim. A claim is just a statement.
Oh, this is not true, it's false.
If there's no warrant in it, then it's baseless, right? When you're saying it's just an opinion, if you have a good argument, that's an opinion, right? If you don't have anything to back up what you say, I wouldn't even call that an opinion. That's just some hot air. That's just someone who made a claim, a statement, right, with nothing to back it up. Yes?
What if you have a very good warrant, but your impact, but you can't prove why it's important?
Okay, so there are three parts to an argument, right? The question was, what parts of an argument do you attack, right? And you said you attack the warrant because if the warrant doesn't exist, then what happens to the claim? It what? It's baseless. It goes away, right? So if you attack the warrant and the warrant's destroyed, the claim goes away. Have you attacked the claim directly? Did you need to attack the claim directly?
No.
Because once you attack the warrant, the statement becomes irrelevant.
And then you wouldn't need to attack the impact because it wouldn't matter. You attacking the warrant proves why the argument isn't important or whatever.
If you attack the warrant, does the impact matter?
No.
Okay. Well, what about attacking the impact? If you attack the impact and destroy the impact, what is your name? Gabrielle? Gabriella?
Yes.
All right, Gabriella? Or is it Gabrielle? Gabrielle, if you attack the impact of an argument, what happens to the argument?
So,
You destroy the impact, and what have you done? What is the definition of an impact?
the impact is why the argument matters.
The impact is why the argument matters. If you destroy the impact of an argument, what have you done to that argument?
It doesn't matter.
Then the argument doesn't what?
Matter.
Then the argument doesn't matter. Would you vote for an argument that doesn't matter?
No, because it wouldn't be changing anything. It wouldn't be making a difference.
Way ahead of yourself. That's why I wanted you to come here, because keep it basic, right? We're talking about an argument. So what are the three parts of an argument? What's a framing argument?
On why the overall debate is important.
Okay, so it's related to what part of the argument?
Wait, slow down. You said the frame.
All right, well, we're gonna get onto that later. Thank you, she was just jumping way ahead, right? So right, but here's the thing, right? If an argument doesn't matter, then is it important?
No.
By definition, right? Like, the reason why I give these specific definitions is because they're logical. So the first part, like this whole first unit on argument, is just the logical structure of an argument. How do you make an argument? Claim, warrant, impact. And then we're gonna debate. We're gonna have one argument debates, where we're gonna do that first debate move, which is direct clash. But, so, when you attack an argument, what part of an argument do you attack? The warrant, the impact, or both, right?
I can vote.
Depends on the argument. It depends on the argument, right? There are some times when what they say is going to be true. Excuse me, sometimes your opponent is gonna do some really good research. They're gonna present an argument, and the evidence is gonna be good. You will not be able to counter their evidence because their evidence is just true. if your opponent has evidence that's just true, that they've proven that they have a claim, they warranted that claim, it is true, do you lose?
Just because it's true doesn't mean that it's not the better choice for whatever you're arguing about.
More specifically, just because it's true doesn't mean, think in terms of the structure of an argument. Just because it's true doesn't mean it what? Doesn't mean it matters. Doesn't mean it's important, right?
It's not gonna do anything to what I'm trying to do.
What you said is true, but irrelevant. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Well, right now, we're just discussing debate, right? What we're saying is true universally. An argument is an argument. What is your question? I don't know what you're talking about right now, right? Like in other words, are you what is your question? I'm sorry? No, ask the question. What is it?
So I was asking, like, isn't it, you were saying, like, if the person has a claim of a better warrant to render a claim, what if you?
No, finish.
I'm trying to ask, like, since you were like giving the example, like, if someone has a claim and they have a better warrant to, like, support their claim, you're trying to find a way to, I guess, like, limit it, and you should be able to limit it by going against the impact, or just like, kind of a debate to figure out how to get better to fixing the status quo.
Okay, so
I think she's explaining harms, like.
yeah, I think you're conflating something right now, right? Like I'm asking about a single argument. You're in a debate. Your opponent, I'm not telling you what type of debate it is, right? Because it doesn't matter what type of debate it is. You're in a debate. Your opponent has made a claim. They have read evidence that that claim is true.
Oh, you're being more specific. Like you're asking, like, whatever is gonna happen, is it gonna better the status quo? Yeah, that would be for like.
Well, no, it might be the same thing, right? Because then you'd be asking, because if you're saying that if the warrant is true, then what part of the argument are you attacking? The impact, right? And what is the impact? It's why the argument matters. And you were saying specific to a policy debate, the impact might be what? Like, as in with better in what way? In whatever way that would be, right? Like maybe fewer people die or whatever, right? But the impact is why the argument matters. Hey! I'm well.
Good. I have Snatcher. She just has an appointment.
Okay, that's fine.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Hi debate team. Hi Science Park.
But so that the argument is simply, like the impact of an argument is simply why the argument matters. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, talk to you later. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Take care.
Yes. Nice ladder.
Absolutely. All right. So the impact. So you're not wrong, right? Like the impact of an argument is why the argument matters, right? So if the claim is true, I mean, if the warrant is true, right? If the warrant is true, does that mean you lose? Why not? Because you still have to prove why the argument matters, right? If you don't win all of them, you don't win. You need to prove of that argument, right? You need to prove the warrant and the impact. Write this down. This is really important, right? And so, Amani, this goes directly to what you were talking about as well. The claim is for clarity, right? The claim is for clarity. If you have an argument, you want to know what they're saying. So the claim is simply so that you can express what it is you're going to prove. It is 100% for clarity. You would never attack the claim unless you're like, what do you mean, right? As in, if a claim is clear, then you know you have to attack the warrant and the impact. If the claim is not clear, do you know what the argument is about?
No.
Right. So then you're like, I don't understand. What do you mean by this? What are you claiming, right? And when you're cross-examining someone, because we're also dealing with the skill of cross-examination in this as well, you're going to see that in these first mock debates, is that when you're asking questions, those questions are going to usually fall into 3 categories. And you should write this down. When you're questioning someone's argument, you're gonna end up questioning their claims for clarity, right? Like, what is it that you're saying? What is it that you mean? The warrant is, what's the evidence? What's the warrant for that? You said that Trump should go to jail because he's a crook, but what is the warrant for his criminality? What is the evidence that you have? I feel like a lot, like almost, right? right. You know, all day, every day. But, so the question would be, right, so your question, right, when you're thinking of questions, and this is very strategic for winning arguments, you have to understand what they're attempting to prove. So if you ever ask questions about the claim, it is for the purpose of clarity. Before you can punch someone in the throat, their throat has to be exposed to you. Like, you need to know where it is. They can't just be jumping around, right? Like, getting clarity of the question means you're setting them up to be able to attack them. You need to know what you're going to attack. You need to know what you're going to attack. You need to know what you're going to attack. So the claim is for clarity. The warrant, if you're asking questions about the warrant, you're like, well, what's the evidence for that? Doesn't this evidence over here contradict that? Like, you're attacking, you're questioning, you're interrogating the warrant. Or you could be interrogating the impact of the argument. The impact of the argument is why the argument matters. Because the claim can be true, the warrant of an argument can be true, but do you win? You automatically win if the warrant is true. No, because you can still attack an argument based on what? The impact, right? I'm sorry, yes? I'm sorry, is that what you said?
Oh.
All right, so you can still attack an argument based on the impact. So an argument has got to, it's like Pokemon, gotta have them all. Now, I'm gonna digress a little bit here, and what you're gonna learn here is gonna help you every class that you ever have for the rest of your life. Whether or not you're writing a 5-paragraph essay, a 5-page essay, this is really why they're making this into a course, right? There are a couple of things that we learn in debate that just like, oh, wow, every kid should know this. Part of the issue with debate is they're like, we spend a lot of money on debate. A lot of money gets spent on really a few kids who are traveling and a lot of teams. How does this translate to the wider community? Why is having great debate teams so important? Well, that's because debate ends up having like mini teachers all over, right? It ends up creating a sense of understanding and intellectualism that will help everyone on these papers.